Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. And welcome to another episode of My Collecting Life, the weekly series where I get to chat with you, members of the toy collecting community, about your own personal collections, finding out what got you into collecting in the first place, and what gives you that toy collecting buzz. Alrighty then, you lot, welcome back to My Collecting Life. It's a new year, it's a new episode, and we're going to have loads of new guests. And talking to guests, who will be the first guest kicking us off in 2024? Well, why don't we all find out? You all know the drill. And in case you've forgotten, let me remind you. Sit yourselves down, put your feet up, make yourselves comfortable, and let's take a look at some of his collection in a musical montage. Okay, then. So what a fantastic collection to kick us off into 2024. And it's a pleasure to welcome to the channel for the first time, Denzense. Hello, sir. How are you, my friend? All good?
Hey Stu, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Now, before we get into the interview, I've got a little story. So I first started interacting with you when you commented on a video about a My Collecting Life video, and you were saying that there's more people out there that collect other things than Star Wars and blah blah blah, and that's how we got meeting. So I was like, well, you know, I can only interview who wants to be interviewed and stuff like that. So I offered you the opportunity, and here you are. Awesome stuff. Wow.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for the chance.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah, I love sharing my collection with everyone. I mean, I know that I'm a very particular collector because
Yep. Well, we get into
well,
that in
as
the
you know,
interview, so yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I love Jason Todd. I mean, it's such an interesting character, and his background, where he comes from. He's not like the typical Robin, as you
Yeah,
know. Batman has had like five different Robins, and this is like the one that stands out from the rest for me, the way I
awesome.
see it.
Well, what we'll do is we'll crack on with the interview, and then you can go into your Jason Todd collection a little bit deeper in the interview. So, if you're ready, sir, we'll crack on with the first question.
All right.
All good, my friend. Right. What toy lines were you into as a kid, and what are your memories of those toy lines?
Well, back then, mm, I mean, my mother bought when I was a kid. My mother bought me tons of toys, tons of toys. I had tons of lines, but I didn't really collect. I just had them to play. I just
Yeah,
didn't thought of it like, oh, I have to keep this and I have to have it made and fresh, and I have to keep the accessories. I mean,
yeah.
whenever I got a toy, I opened it up, and I remember that I kept all of the accessories on this launch back box that I had, those metal
Okay.
launch boxes from the
Yeah,
80s,
yeah,
and I kept everything there. It was almost full when I stopped buying toys.
yeah.
And back then, my mother bought everything like GI Joes, Transformers. I had like the complete line of the Silverhawks.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, I also had like the most of the Thundercats.
Okay. Yep.
And yeah, I mean, as a kid, I loved the lines, but the one that I got into the most was GI Joe because of the vehicles. I mean,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
my mother bought the vehicles, and she had a great time putting them together.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and that's kind of what I believe. That's what drove her to buy me so many toys. Because man, my room was filled with toys when I was a kid.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is so
Yeah,
cool.
it was great. I mean, I had toys like I don't know, man. I had tons of toys. I remember when I gave them away, when I was started growing up, I just gave them away, and my room looked so empty. Like, man, there's something missing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was my room was something that not every 10-year-old would have. I mean,
Yeah. I think
my room was something different. It
what
was
made
it
me laugh
was
and what made me chuckle when you said about, you were a kid back then and you didn't think about keeping a mint on fresh on card. And no, you didn't, because back then toys were meant to be played with. Do you know what I mean? Can you
exactly.
imagine? Can you imagine if I went round to your house and I was like, we were friends, and I went round and I saw you had all these figures on the wall and in their cases. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Get them open. Let's play with them. I mean, that would have been unheard of in those days, wouldn't it? Toys
Yeah,
were meant to be
definitely,
played with.
definitely. And as a matter of fact, I remember that whenever I got a new figure,
Yeah.
I was actually I always opened up the figure, and most of the times I got GI Joe, as I said, and those came on card backs. So
Yeah.
I just opened it, and I tried to be as careful as possible not to damage the card back.
Okay.
And yeah, and I kept the toy in the card back for about 3 days, until my mother found the card back and threw it away. Cause yeah, she never, I love the art on the card
Yeah.
backs. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I admired the whole figure, though, everything that came with it, and
Yeah.
I love the art. But my mother always ended up throwing them away because she said, "No, that's just trash. You're just taking up
But
space.
you've got the
Let's throw
file
this
cards
away."
on the back, haven't you? You had the file cards on the back of the GI Joes with all the information on there. Did you cut
Yeah.
those out and keep those, or did they get thrown away as
No,
well?
no, that's
Thrown as well.
that's the worst thing, that I didn't do that. I mean, my mother threw away. Is she? I mean, I kept it, not because I was a collector, but because I liked the art, the illustrations on the card backs. That's why I kept it. I didn't really care about the info on the card backs.
Yeah, you just wanted the art
So
on the front.
yeah, exactly. Because I remember that every time that I saw a figure on its package, I felt like if I was going into a toy store. That's why I keep all
Yeah.
my figures on packages. As
Yeah.
you can see, they're still in the package because I love that feeling whenever I come into my room. I feel like I'm walking into a toy store.
Yeah.
And then when you go back to those days when you were a kid and
Mm.
you saw so many toys that you didn't know which one to get. I mean, it was overwhelming, and
Wasn't
that's
it?
what
It
I
was. Yeah.
yeah, but I love that feeling. I mean, every time I come into my room and watch all of my toys here on the
Mm.
walls, I love it because it's my own personal collection. I feel like I'm
Absolutely.
walking
Yeah.
into my own personal toy shop with
Yeah.
my figures, the figures that I love, the Jason Todd figures. So yeah, it's amazing, man. I
So,
mean,
so as a kid, what influenced you to get those toy lines? Was it? Did you like to see the cartoons? So obviously, like Saturday morning cartoons, you had Transformers, He-Man, GI Joe. Was you into all that kind of stuff, and you kind of looked at that and thought, "Oh wow, yeah, I want to collect that." Or did you see the stuff in the shop first and then see it on the telly?
no, actually, depends. With He-Man and all those figures, I did watch the cartoon first, and then I started
Yeah.
getting figures. But for example, as I said, the figures that I liked the most were GI Joes because
Yeah.
those had the best articulation.
Yeah.
My mother got them for me one day. I had never seen them. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know there was a cartoon. I didn't know anything. So I just my mother got me those toys, and I was like, "Whoa, these are pretty cool." And I remember one of the first GI Joe figures that she got me had a jetpack,
Oh
and
wow.
for me that was amazing because she could fly. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
for me that was like, "Whoa, the accessories that these things have are the best."
Yeah.
A while after, I remember it. They a Snake Eyes figure. It was like snowman. I mean, a snow, a type of suit, a snow a snake eyes
Frostbite.
figure.
It was a Snake Eyes figure in a snow costume, or
Yeah, and it had a snowboard. That's
oh,
what
Snow
made it fun
Serpent.
for me. Yeah, it had. I don't know what character it was exactly. I remember it had a snowboard, a white snowboard,
Yeah, I think that
and
might have
for
been the
me,
Snow Serpent.
I don't know, maybe yeah.
Yeah.
So for me that was the thrill. For me, those
Yeah.
accessories, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. This guy can snowboard. And so I don't know, that's what got me into the toys, the
Yeah.
accessories, the articulation. Because
Yeah.
to be honest, I wasn't really that much into Masters of the Universe,
Yeah.
or I don't know, those figures that had like the basic articulation that
Yeah.
didn't have any joints under your elbows or knees.
Yeah.
So that was like a downer for me. And I also really liked Transformers, but
Yes. Yeah.
that was because my mother got me this big ass transformer. It was pretty big. It turned into like a base. It was amazing. I loved it. I used it mostly as a base for my GI Joe figures.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but I did combine when I was playing with toys. I did combine like Transformers with GI Joes, but that was it. Those were my two favorite lines back then. But
Okay.
as I said, it's because of the possibilities with
Yeah.
the articulation and
Well, that
the
leads me into
accent.
my next question. My next question was going to be, what was your favorite toy line and why? And I think you just answered that with the GI Joe and stuff like that, 'cause for the articulation. I mean, so with regards to GI Joe, then what era did you start collecting them? What year do you remember? Because I mean, GI Joe started, I think it was about 1982, and then went on to the like early 90s sort of thing. So, did you have a favorite part of the GI Joe collecting? Was there a certain era that you wanted to collect a certain timeline?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in '82, so
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, I was born when the line started, and I remember, as I said, I never saw the comics or
Yeah.
the cartoons, nothing like that. And one day, I remember that it was just like, I don't know, maybe a month before Christmas. and I walked into my mother's room, and she had this big box filled with GI Joes, like figures,
Wow.
vehicles, tons of things. And I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" I mean, I knew they were toys, but I wasn't familiar with GI Joes. I had never seen those type of toys, so for me it was
Yeah.
like, man, what is this? So I went over to my mother to ask her what was that all about, what, why she had so many toys, and if I could have one. She said, "Oh no, those toys belong to your aunt. She That's something that belongs to your aunt. You cannot touch them." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm okay, no problem." So I remember that was the first time I saw the toys, and I got those toys for Christmas. That those were my Christmas gifts.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so when I got them, I was like, "Oh, okay, I know Santa doesn't really exist," and I mean, that was like 1987, I believe. I
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I discovered her pretty when I was pretty young, that my parents were the ones giving me the gifts, not
Toys.
Santa
Yeah.
Claus.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it kind of every single year. So I told my mother, "Oh, I want this for Christmas," and she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, you gotta tell that to Santa Claus, not to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, all right. I already know you're Santa Claus, so this is what I want for Christmas. Please get me this." And it was so simple to deal with her, because, as I said, she always bought me tons of toys. She was
Yeah. Yeah.
she was great.
So
I
what,
mean, my
so
mother.
what was that feeling like then on for Christmas mornings and stuff like that, and or birthdays even when you know that well you think you're going to be getting GI Joe stuff or like just toys. How was that as a feeling for you, waking up and then going downstairs and opening presents and stuff like that? It must have been pretty marvelous, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, I'm from Colombia, and the thing is that here in Colombia, we don't wait till the next day to open up the presents. We go
Yeah.
at we party at night. I mean, on the 23rd of December, we party at night. We have dinner,
Yeah.
and we wait until midnight to open up the presents with the whole family.
Oh
We don't
wow.
we don't wait till the next day. Yeah, that's a tradition here. So
Okay. Interesting.
whenever we did that, and well, midnight came, we were with all my cousins. My family's pretty big, so we were tons of kids, all of my uncles, my cousins, everyone. So, and you can see like this massive uh mountain of gifts, and of course you're always wondering, like, man, is one of those big boxes the Cobra spaceship that I saw on TV? Or
Oh
I don't know.
wow.
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was amazing. Like, you didn't know what you were going to get, but you still knew that a lot of the presents on the stack were for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was something that just, I don't know. It was amazing. I mean, you
No, it's
can't
awesome.
replace
Listen,
those.
I love your enthusiasm. I mean, I can tell by the way you're talking, you get so excited about it, and you're really enthusiastic, and that's quite infectious. So, awesome stuff, man. That really is awesome. That's quality. Um, when did you stop playing with your toys, and when did you start becoming a collector?
Okay, so I started in 1994. I mean, I'm diabetic,
Okay.
and my parents always taught me that if I wanted to have a healthy life, I had to work out. I had to do a lot of exercise. So I was very into sports when I was a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
And in 1994, when I was around 12, rollerblading was like the biggest thing here in Colombia. It was like the biggest thing, and I don't know, rollerblading just took over my life.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I started playing hockey. I don't know, anything that was rollerblading related, I had to be on it. And as I said, I'm a very passionate person, so
Yeah.
every time I find something that I like, I have to go all in on it. I have to
Yeah.
go
Absolutely.
all in.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually sometimes that's a curse because it makes you like kind of obsessive on certain things.
Yeah, I guess so.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I'm a pretty passionate person, but it has brought me a little bit of problems sometimes. But anyway, as I was saying, I got into rollerblading in 1994 when I was
Yeah.
12, and that and rollerblading took over my life. I mean, I stopped rollerblading like in 2015
Wow.
because yeah, I stopped. I mean, that's still a big part of my life, but I just cannot um, be. I cannot dedicate the time, and I don't.
Yeah.
I lost my sight a few years ago, and my
Okay.
sight has. I haven't even been able to recover my sight
Right.
totally. So that's why I no longer skate. But
Okay.
I hope one day I can go back to skating.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically it. Rollerblading took over my life, and as I said, I did it till a few years ago, and I didn't stop because I wanted to, but
Yeah.
because of what happened. So
Yeah.
then in 2019, I always loved Batman, so I
Yeah.
followed the hashtag Batman on Instagram, and
Okay.
I saw this Red Hood figure, and I was like, "Who's this guy, man? I don't know about him." So I checked out the figure, and oh, this looks pretty sweet. So I went over to Facebook. I looked for the review of the figure, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so cool! This has like better articulation than the '80s GI Joe." So I have to get one of those, and the sculpting is amazing. The I mean, that figure was just like whoa. So in 2019, in November 2019, I got there's where I got my first figure, which was the McFarlane Toys Red Hood New 52, the first Red Hood figure
Okay. Yep.
that they threw out to the market, and
Mm.
from then on I started, and yeah, I mean, this just like rollerblading, this took over my life because I don't know. It's an amazing hobby. It's an amazing hobby. I love customizing figures. I love making my own figures. As I said, I'm an industrial designer.
Yeah.
So I actually transitioned from customizing skates because back when I rollerblade, I used to put skates together. I took like parts from one skate and put them on another skate. So I always love like yeah, customizing, making personal
Yeah.
everything that I owned. And since I wasn't rollerblading, and I started collecting figures, I could do it with figures instead of skates. So that was basically what um, got me also into collecting. Because as I told you, like 6 or 8 of my figures are made by me. So that's something that I also love about this hobby, that I can
Yeah.
express myself creatively.
Yeah. I mean, so once you got your first figure, it was then you was heavily into Batman then, or was it
Yeah.
just was it just a certain character from Batman that you've got into?
No. At first, when I started, I went crazy. When I got the first figure, when I got the first Red Hood figure, which was my first figure, I went crazy. I went like, whoa! I mean, like toys have advanced a ton since I got one of these things on my hand. I mean,
Yeah.
the articulation is great, the paint is great, the sculpting, everything, the accessories. It was every for me. It was amazing. So I started getting a lot of Batman figures at the beginning, because I don't know. As I told you, I'm just passionate, and I just went crazy buying toys. I got like 10 Batman toys at once, and one of them, some of the most expensive lines, like
Yeah.
SH Figure Arts,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and I started getting like all those lines, and I was like, whoa, these toys are so cool. But after a while, A person that was back then with me, who was really important in my life, got me my second Red Hood figure, and
Okay.
yeah, and I said, I don't know which one I prefer. I don't know if I like the old one or the new one. Should I sell this one, or stay with both of them? So then it was when my it was actually my ex girlfriend, and she told me, like, why don't you just collect Red Hood figures if you like them so much? So
Yeah.
I started selling all of my Batmans and all of my other figures, because I also got a couple of Casey Jones figures from the Ninja
Okay.
Turtles.
Yeah.
I also love that character, and I sold all of those figures. My
Wow.
cousin, my cousin, which is the only collector that I discuss things with, he had given me some figures. I sold those figures to get more Jason Todd figures. I mean, I sold everything just to get
Wow.
Jason Todd figures.
Wow.
And as I said, so far for me, toy hunting is not like everyone's toy hunting, because I mean, I got most of the Jason Todd figures that are on the market. I'm missing like
Yeah.
15. So every time I find a new figure, for me it's just like the holy grail. Like, whoa, because as I said, I don't get every figure. So
Yeah.
every time I find a Jason Todd figure that I don't have, it's like, wow, I have to get it.
So
So
what is it about Jason Todd then that stands out for you more than anybody else that you have that particular focus on?
I don't know. His story, I mean, it depends, Jason. It depends, as you know, DC has a lot of multiverses,
Yeah.
so depends on the story that you follow, that you like the most. For me, the best story is the one from the Red Hood, where the Joker kills Jason Todd in a warehouse, where he starts hitting him with a crowbar, and then
That's Death in
sets
the
the
Family,
bomb.
isn't it? That's Death in the Family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the one. That's for me. That's my favorite story, and that's why I kind of got into it. I was like, um, my father left me when I was a little bit younger, so I could actually relate what he felt when he was. Uh, I mean, he was brought back to life by Ra's al Ghul, and when he came back, he was so, like, disappointed that his father, which was Bruce Wayne, his adopted father,
Okay.
which was Bruce Wayne, didn't do anything to avenge his murder. He didn't do anything. He didn't kill the Joker. I mean, he just put him back on Arkham, but the Joker, as always, escaped.
Yeah.
So he was kind of disappointed that Batman did that. That's why he went against Batman on the movie and on the comics, and that's what I could relate to. I felt like, I don't know. I don't want to get into this drama, but I could relate with that, because, as I said, my father
Mm.
left my mother, me, and my sister when I was a little younger, so I could relate to that, and that's what actually got me into into
Oh,
into
okay.
this character.
Awesome. So is it with so what other toy lines do you currently collect then, or is it just the Jason Todd figures from the DC universe, or do you collect other figures as well?
No, I was going to get into Casey Jones, as I said,
Yeah.
but um, I have a lot of grudge. Not grudge, but I mean, I think that there are some toy companies that are not doing things right. For example, Super Seven, NECA,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
Hasbro. For me, those are the three companies that just take advantage of their customers.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. I have never bought a single NECA or Super Seven figure, but every
Yeah.
time that I see people on on the on YouTube commenting about these figures, they always have a problem with these figures. They always have a problem, and I mean, even I don't know if you know who the Mad Hatter is.
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
even he only buys Super 7 and NECA is complaining about their figures. Even he's like the premium collector for NECA and Super 7. And
Okay.
even he says that some of their figures are just crap. And I mean, as I said, I'm from
Sorry,
Colombia.
I thought you meant the Mad Hatter as in the Batman character Mad Hatter, but no, I don't know this YouTuber. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry, but yeah, carry on.
Okay,
Sorry.
so there's this guy in the US who collects NECA and Super
Yeah.
7, and he's like, as I said, he gets everything that there's from those two companies because he's a Ninja Turtles collector.
Okay.
So yeah, he gets everything, and even he is complaining about the quality and about the things that Brian Flynn always promises and he never fulfills. So man, no one is telling you to promise the your customers a better product. If you can give them a better product, don't promise them that. But he's
Yeah.
just promising and promising and promising and doing the same old thing over and over and over. So I'm just not I just can't accept that, and
Yeah.
that's why I never started collecting the Casey Jones figures,
Okay.
because he is one of the ones who makes those figures, and I'm not
Yeah.
willing to support a line. I mean, to support a company that is doing things so like mediocre. I don't know. It's not done right, and that's why I mean I love I mean you know who Tony Valla is, right?
Yeah. I know Tony Val. Well, I've heard of him. Yeah. I don't like know him, but yeah, I know who he
Yeah,
is.
I
Yeah.
mean I admire that guy because he always fulfills. He always, I mean, he when he started his line of Action Force, he
Yeah.
messed up on the first figures, and he said, "I'm going to correct this. I'm going to send replacements," and he did. He
Yeah.
did. Every single person that I know that bought those figures from the first wave, got the replacement, got everything. I mean, his word is worth something.
Yeah.
While Brian Flynn just talks and talks and talks, and he never fulfills. So I'm not willing to give my money to a company like that. For example, as I said, Bobby Bala, I really admire him. He's, I can tell that he's really passionate about what he's doing,
Yeah.
and as I said, as long as you love what you're doing, you're on the right track, man. I mean, he's making outstanding vehicles, outstanding figures. I want to get that. I don't know if you've seen the Swan figure, the one that has the red
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
Oof, that one's amazing, man. I mean,
So I'm guessing the Action Force line then from Bobby Valor would be a line that you would be interested in getting into.
definitely. The thing is that, as I said, I'm in Colombia, and here getting figures is really hard. The
Yeah.
figures have to be really, really, really popular for you to get them here. Like
Yeah.
here in Colombia, the only thing that you can get is DC and Marvel Legends, and Star Wars. Those
Okay.
are the only figures that you can get here. But for example, independent toy lines, it's almost impossible. And if you can get them, the prices
Yeah.
are ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so that's why it's so hard collecting around here, because the figures are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So but yeah, if those figures came, if we had those figures here in Colombia, for sure
Mm.
I will go all in on
All
the
in.
Action Force line.
Yeah. Cool.
That's amazing.
Cool. Um, do you have a sentimental or a prized piece in your collection?
Yeah, I have. Do you want me to take it out, show
Yeah.
it to you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll put you up on the screen there so you can show.
This one, this is my most prized figure. Um, this is this is like the amazing Yamaguchi,
Oh, okay. Yep.
the
Arkham
Arctic
Knight.
Knight.
Yeah,
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 and this is not my most prized figure, not because of the money worth, but it was because it was given to me by a very special person in my life.
yeah,
She's no longer in my life, so that's like the one figure that reminds me of that person. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's pretty important for me. And as I said, that's one of the most expensive figures I have on my collection. But as
yeah.
I said, for me, it's
Sentimental
not.
value is more, isn't it?
eh,
Sentiment. I can't even get my words out. Sentimental value is more than monetary value. In my opinion, anyway.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's it. That's it. And
yeah.
it just reminds me of the best time of my life. I don't know. This figure is pretty sentimental to me.
Mm.
I
And
don't
I'm
know.
seeing it's in the box as well, so I'm guessing that's staying in the box, is it?
Yeah, I mean, all of my figures are in the box,
Yeah,
but the boxes are all open. I mean, as you've seen, I send you the pictures of
yeah,
all of my figures. I
yeah,
mean, all of the boxes are open. I just like to keep them on the box so that, as I said, you get that feeling that you're getting a mint fresh figure.
yeah,
As I
yeah,
said, I love going into my room and feel like I'm walking into a toy store.
yeah.
So that's why I keep them in the box. But every single figure is open. Every single figure, even the carded ones are open.
So with the Arkham Knight, then have you actually played the game Arkham Knight on the computer console?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it. I
it's good,
love
isn't
it,
it?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
I
to a
mean
certain point on one of the games and I couldn't get any further. And I just go, oh, sod it, I can't. I have
that's
no patience for video games. I just like get to a certain point and I spend hours and hours and hours, and I just and then sometimes days. And I just think, oh, do you know what? And then I totally forget about it and I don't go back to it. But it's a good game.
yeah, definitely. I like better Arkham City. Arkham City is more dynamic. Like
Yeah,
you can do more things. Um, and I love it. I mean, the thing is, as I said, when I get into something that I really like,
yeah,
I just can get out of it. So, for example, when I got into a point where I was stuck, just like you, that I couldn't go any further, I went
mm,
into YouTube and started looking for videos, what to do, what do I need to get, what are the Easter eggs. I mean, I started to try to cramble and look all around to see what else could I do, even if I didn't have the equipment to go any further, or I don't know. I just tried to go all the way, as I
yeah,
said. So I had it for a couple of days because I don't actually own a console, and I don't like playing it directly on my computer because I have to play with the keyboard.
yeah. That's
But
difficult, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah, so I like it on a console, and yeah,
yeah.
when I play those games, I was like, man, this is my thing. I love them. But as I said, there's a point where you just get stuck. I'm not that good at video games, so I just got stuck, and well, that was it.
Yeah. Um, do you have a grail piece in your collection? Something, not a grail piece. Would you like? Is there a grail piece that you want in your collection? And when I say grail piece, I don't mean the most expensive piece going. Something that you might have seen in your store, 3 or 4 weeks ago. You think, oh, I'll go back and get that. You go and get it, it's gone, and you've not seen it since. So, is there anything like that that you would like in your collection?
Well, let me tell you, as I said, the thing is that since I only collect Jason type figures, I don't see a lot of Jason tag figures. I mean,
Yeah,
I see a lot of Jason tag figures, but the ones that I already have, like for example the unmasked Red Hood. I mean that figure has been on clearance like for the last 2 years, and I
yeah,
still can find that figure. So for me to find a figure, I have to get it because if I don't get it at the moment that I see it, someone else might grab it. And as I
yeah,
said, I'm just at this point of my collecting life. I don't know. Yeah, I got like all of the easy to get figures.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just waiting for the to find like those figures that came out like 10 years ago or maybe 12 years ago, the old ones, the really old ones.
Mm.
So yeah, I have three grail figures for me that are like the best figures that for Jason Todd. The first one is the DC Collectibles Batman Reborn, which
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I made a custom out of it.
Yeah.
The DC Collectibles, I would like to get that one. It's really hard to find in box. Because I have seen it, but without the accessories and without the box. And as I said, I love collect. I mean, I all of my collection is in box.
Yeah.
So, and the ones that I haven't been able to get a box for, I make the boxes. So
Oh
I don't
wow.
know.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I love to look everything. I love everything that everything looks like mint fresh. That's why I do that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the second figure for me that it's the great one of the biggest grails because right now is pretty expensive and really hard to get is the Red Hood from Injustice 2 by Haya Toys.
Okay.
That that figure came
Yeah.
out
They do
like
some good stuff. Yeah.
yeah, that figure is amazing. I mean, it's really small and it has a really good articulation and
Mm.
tons of accessories. And I mean, it's so hard to find, and it's a really good sculpted figure. It moves really well. It's an amazing figure. I mean, it's just like yeah. I mean, it's the size of a GI Joe, and it
Yeah.
has all these details. I mean, for me, that's one of the most amazing figures. And the third grail for me would be the Flame Toys Arkham Knight, which is
Okay.
actually a 112 figure.
Yeah.
But if you look at that figure, that looks like a robot, man. It's as I said, it's this figure, the Arkham Knight, this same
Yeah.
figure, but in a larger scale, and
Oh wow.
everything is like robotized. I don't know. His armor has like so many twitches and lights and things, and that one is not hard to find, but it's really expensive. That one, I
Yeah.
believe, like the last time I saw it on eBay, it was like $500,
Oh
and I
wow.
was like, yeah, like damn,
Yeah.
man. And it's an amazing figure. It looks great. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, those are my three grails.
Awesome.
As I said, the first one because it's hard to find. The
Yeah.
second one also because it's hard to find, and the third one because it's really expensive. And it's real. All of them are really good looking. All of them
Yeah.
have like incredible sculptures,
Mm.
sculpting. But as I said, the last one is just because of the price.
Yeah.
That's why it's one of my grails. But the
Yeah,
first two
absolutely. I mean, it's
is because,
expensive. I mean, yeah. I mean, that reminds me of something like a Hot Toys figure or sideshow. You know,
yeah.
they're premium figures and they're expensive. So, but they do look good. They do look good. You talking about like companies like Kenner and Hasbro and NECA. Um, you not Kenner. Who was the other one you did? Super Seven. Sorry. Um,
Yeah.
would you not try toy lines like SH Figure Arts or like you say more amazing Yamaguchi figures and stuff like that? Or do they interest you at all? Those kind of figures because they do a lot of good DC stuff.
Yeah, but as I said, the thing is that here here in Colombia, as I said, those
Yeah,
figures are really expensive. So you gotta be careful with what you're buying. Cause I mean, in Colombia there's no warranties. If you call, I mean, their customer service, no one is gonna tell you like, yeah, we'll send you a replacement all the way to Colombia. Don't worry about it. I mean, that's just like
yeah, yeah,
forget about it. That's not gonna happen. So I really have to watch out how and where I spend my money. That's why
right.
I have never bought anything from NECA or from Super 7. I've
Yeah.
seen Hasbro. As a matter of fact, I believe I had like two or three Hasbro figures, and they're not that bad at all. I mean, what I didn't really like about Hasbro was when they stopped with the
The
when they
plastic windows.
started doing. I'm sorry.
They stopped doing the plastic windows and put the cardboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, they did that to diffuse a bigger problem. I know that everyone was complaining, oh, the boxes no longer have a window, we can no longer see the figures, and everyone
Yeah.
was actually more worried about the boxes than what was actually inside the boxes. Because
Yeah.
most of I saw a lot of YouTubers, a lot of reviews where people opened the box and they just got a totally different figure for what they had on the art of the box. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
whoa, what's going on? And sometimes they were missing accessories. Sometimes the figures were had a crappy paint job on them.
Mm.
Or I don't know, they just came disassembled. So I mean, that's quality control, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're worried about giving something good to the to the to the buyers, well, man, work on it. I mean, Hasbro is the biggest fucking company in the world of toys. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna tell me that they don't have the infrastructure to make something better? I mean, it's just for me, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
basically why I don't like to risk my money. It's not that I don't like them. I love the paint job that they do on the NECAs and the Super Sevens. I love that matte finish that all of those figures have.
Yeah.
That looks amazing. It looks amazing. It looks really toyetic whenever you have a figure on your hands. But
Mm.
as I said, I'm not willing to risk my money on those
Yeah.
figures that I know that don't have good articulation,
Yeah.
and that I know that no one's going to. I mean, the company is not going to give me a replacement if something goes wrong.
So does
So
that include? So because I know you were a big GI Joe fan back in the day when you were a kid. So would that include figures like GI Joe Classified, the 6-inch series GI Joe figures? Because I mean, some of their stuff that they're doing now is pretty good, and they do like retro carded figures as well, where you got the big 6-inch card back, and they're reminiscent of the ones that you were collecting as a kid. Does something like that not interest you, or you just totally set and with your DC and your Red Hood?
no, I would actually go on it. I mean, but because as I said, my cousin also collects figures, and
Yeah.
most of my experience has been through his figures, because
Okay.
he does get every not every single figure, but he gets a lot of Super Sevens. He get a lot of
Yeah.
NECA, Mesco, all of those big ass, I don't know, brands, those cool
Yeah.
brands. So I can actually check out the figures when he gets them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would definitely go all in on GI Joe if they lower their price a little bit. Because I mean,
Okay.
they're way
Yeah.
too expensive. They're way too
Yeah.
expensive, and that's why I'm so much into McFarlane. I don't like what he did with the Crisis on Earth wave, which is like $40 each figure, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous. But I hope that it's only for that wave. If he continues with those crazy prices, well,
Is
I
that a gold
just
label? Is that a gold label wave?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a gold label.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I was watching a video today, and he does, because it's a gold label which is only exclusive to his company, and so he can set the price however high he wants on those
Yeah.
figures. But the normal standard figures in the DC Multiverse line, they won't be. They don't go up. They stay at a set price. It's only the gold label figures that sort of go up and down in price and stuff like that, because they're exclusive to his company. So
Yeah,
that's
and I
why.
don't know. It's so weird. I mean, I've been like trying to check out what's going on, because as I said,
Yeah.
McFarlane is actually the brand that I buy the most. It's not the one that I love the most, Because I mean, those figures are not perfect, are pretty close to perfect. But I mean, from
Yeah,
for $20, you're getting a pretty good thing for your buck.
yeah,
So I mean, yeah, I mean, if McFarlane raises their prices, unfortunately, I can't continue collecting. I mean, I would
yeah,
continue collecting, but I would go to the older figures, the ones that I told you
yeah,
that I
yeah,
missed.
yeah,
But unfortunately, if McFarlane continues raising their prices,
mm,
because they said that it's only for this wave that
yeah,
he has this crazy ass prices. But yeah, if he continues with that, uh, I well, unfortunately,
mm,
as much as I love supporting Todd McFarlane, I
yeah,
would have to drop it. I mean,
yeah,
that's why I like Bobby Bala so much because he's
yeah,
a very wise person. I mean, on one of his interviews, he said like, "Man, if you paid full price for a figure and you find it later on clearance for half the price, don't complain. Man, you're supporting the company you like, you're supporting the brand you like, so don't complain." And
mm.
that's actually something that clicked in my head. I was like, yeah, man, he's totally
Well,
right.
I think a lot of collectors are now when they see the prices are so high. I mean, a lot of people are basically they're waiting for clearance. They're waiting for that price to drop.
Yeah.
So that's why probably like in like places like Ollie's and which other one Ross in the States,
Hmm.
they've just got inundated with all these like cheap figures because they're all on clearance because no one's buying them straight out. I mean, listen, I was guilty when I first started collecting of going, oh crikey, yeah, going to miss out, so I've got to get it now, got to get it now, got to get it now. And it was only later on down the line that I started to learn. Well, hang on a minute, you know, I'm seeing these figures now that I bought at full price. Like a few months
Hmm.
later, they're in the stores at a lower price or on the same website at a lower price. So I stopped getting all kinds of pre-orders and I just wait for the prices to drop. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of more people are now jumping on that bandwagon.
Yeah, but exactly, that's what I'm actually going to. Because as I said, for example, as I told you, that Red Hood figure with the unmasked Red Hood figure, which was the second one that the second Red Hood that McFarlane made. That figure was when it came out. I pre-ordered it. I paid
Yeah,
full price, and maybe after 2 months, it went on clearance, and you can still find it on clearance.
yeah.
That that
I know
that
it's annoying, isn't it?
yeah, and I was like all the time, like I was like complaining, like, I'm such a dumbass. I should have waited and paid half of the price. I should have
Mm,
waited. I should have been more patient. And as I said, when I heard Bobby talking about that, like that don't regret what you buy because you're supporting the company and you're
yeah,
supporting
yeah. No,
the
it's a fair
license and
point. Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't I mean, most of my Red Hood figures I have paid full price.
yeah.
I pre-order every single Red Hood figure that comes out. I actually
Mm.
pre-ordered the black and white figure that came out like 2 weeks ago. I
Okay.
just pre-ordered. I pre-ordered that one. I
Mm.
always pre-order the Red Hood, the Jason Todd figures,
Yeah,
but as I said, this if he raises the prices, unfortunately, as
yeah.
much as I love his company and as much as I love DC, I can no longer support him. So
That's fair
he
enough. Fair enough.
yeah, so yeah, as I said, I hope I've heard that this is only for this wave because this wave
Yeah,
was supposed to be a Target exclusive or
yeah.
something that
Mm.
they didn't want to take. They rejected it or something. So I hope this is only for that wave. And I
Yeah,
and I do understand that he raises the prices a little bit, maybe $5. But I
yeah.
mean, he raised it almost $20. I
That's a
mean,
lot. That's
it's
a big old
yeah,
raise.
it's
That's a
insane.
big old raise. Where do you stand with DC and Warner Brothers? Because what frustrates me when I get a McFarlane figure or a DC figure is they come with no trigger weapons. Now that is on Warner Brothers, so everything DC, you've not got trigger weapons, you've not got grappling hooks or anything like that, and I find that really annoying because I opened up a SH Figuarts figure the other week, and it was the Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad, and she's in that like red and black
Yeah.
outfit, and I love the figure. The figure looks great. I love the outfit. I think she looks fantastic. But it was such a boring figure because all she come with with like a different set of hands. There was no accessories, no trigger weapons, and that really annoys me. That really does annoy me. Why they're not putting trigger weapons. I kind of see why, but I mean, come on, every other company you've got trigger weapons and weapons in the figures. I don't. It just really winds the crap out of me. That does.
Yeah,
Where do you
it
stand?
definitely,
Where do you stand on that?
it's definitely, it's not definitely not good. I mean,
Yeah,
um, collectors are. I mean, I don't know any 13-year-old that it's a collector, a 12-year-old that it's a collector. I mean, those figures, the way I see it, they are they are damaging um the license a little bit. Not
yeah,
much. I mean, there are people that don't care.
mm,
I do care. I hope every single figure of Jason Todd had a gun with him
yeah,
because that's his signature weapon.
yeah,
But yeah, unfortunately, only the first one that McFarlane Toys made had guns.
yeah.
The for the Jason Todd figures. So yeah, I definitely don't like it. I mean,
Mm,
it's ridiculous because even I mean those figures are being bought by collectors. I
yeah,
don't think that a lot of kids are getting into those figures. I mean, I can understand why on the lines like Imaginext or I don't know some other companies which are actually like more toyetic, more kid based
yeah,
brands do this that they don't have any guns. I do understand it when they do that for kids, but I mean
yeah,
McFarlane it's for collectors, and I mean, as I
yeah,
said, there's no I have never seen a collector that is 13 years old, or I mean, like the oldest the youngest collector that I've seen, maybe that I know that collects, it's maybe like 21 years old. And I mean,
wow,
that's, yeah, I mean, we're all grown ups. We know what we're getting. We know these are toys. We know that this is from supposed, from universes that are, I mean,
yeah,
this is not real. These are just toys, man.
yeah,
So I do think that Warner is damaging a little bit DC doing that, because I mean collectors are not going to be as satisfied as if the figure came with all their signature weapons.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. So, and as I said, I can understand when they do it for kids, but I mean it's
Adult, yeah.
still
I mean, like you say, most of
it
the toy companies now are putting the collections out, or the products out for collectors, adult collectors, aren't they? It's, they say, oh, their toys are aimed at kids. They're not, are they? Not really.
exactly. But even if it was for kids, I don't see what's the problem, man. You and I grew up with figures that have guns, and
Yeah,
we're no psychos, we're no killers, we're not. I mean, it's just it's ridiculous to think that a kid is going to become a robber or a bad person because he has a toy with guns. I mean,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah.
So I don't understand what's the point of doing that. You're just messing up the hobby for the ones that really enjoy this hobby, like me, for
Absolutely,
example. Yeah,
absolutely.
when McFarlane made those weapon packs, the first edition of the weapons packs, I got
Yeah.
two of them. I got two of
Okay.
them because I knew that none of the figures were
We're going
going
to
to
come
come
with
with
weapons.
any type
Yeah,
of weapons, and I had to replace those weapons somehow. I mean, that's, as I said, that's Jason Todd's signature
yeah,
gun. I mean, he has guns. That's part of him. So
yeah.
I just bought two, and I stopped complaining. I was just like, yeah.
Awesome stuff. I mean, right, we're coming up to the top of the hour. I've got two questions left for you. So, what gives you that toy collecting buzz?
uh, I don't know, man. There's so many things. For example, I love watching you guys. I mean, when you did your last video opening up your toys, I mean, I I love to hear what people think.
Yeah,
I love to feel to know that people. It's not that that makes me happy to people to hear people not satisfied with product, but
yeah,
I love that people complain about it. I love that people do something about it, like you did on
yeah,
your video where you said that you that the Harley Quinn was such an amazing figure, but with no accessories, no weapons, it was just
yeah,
like a waste.
yeah,
And um, I love hearing about that. I'm a really I like to follow a lot of channels on YouTube. And for example, I don't know if you saw that veteran Williams figure, the that big wolf. Have
no,
you
I don't
seen
think
it?
I have. No.
Well, it's an amazing wolf. It's a wolf. It's called veteran Williams, I believe. And it's
Okay,
this wolf. It's kind of a figure of a werewolf that becomes into a wolf, and it's
okay,
amazing because it has all of this. It has tons and tons of accessories. The articulation is amazing. I mean, um, I don't know. A lot of people put that figure as their favorite figure for 2023. That was
wow,
like on the top tier of a lot of toy tubers.
yeah,
So that's what gives me the buzz. I mean, I don't get
okay,
every single figure as I told
yeah,
you,
yeah,
but whenever I find the Jason Todd figure, I don't care. I don't care if it's just a small statue, if it doesn't have any kind of articulation, if it doesn't
yeah,
have any weapons or anything. But if it's a Jason Todd figure, I have to get it. I mean, it's I have to have all the Jason Todd figures that I see out there. I have
yeah,
never let. I mean, every time that I've seen a figure of Jason Todd that I don't have, uh, uh, I got it every single
yeah,
time. Because as I said, I cannot wait. I cannot give it time for other people to get it. Because as I said, the
yeah,
figures that I'm missing right now are so exclusive and so hard to get that I just can't afford that right now. So
yeah,
every
yeah.
time that I see a figure of Jason Todd, I get that buzz. Every time. As I said, I got, the last one I got was actually an Imaginext Red Hood figure,
Yeah.
which the articulation is pretty basic. It had no weapons. I mean, the original figure comes with a kind of a gun, like
Yeah.
a machine gun or something. But I got it without the gun. I don't care. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, I would have liked to get it complete,
Yeah.
but as I said, I was so psyched when I saw that figure, and it was actually less than $2. It was
Oh
pretty
wow.
cheap. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cheap. So it was like that. That's what gets me the buzz. I mean, and as I said, I love watching at the. As I said, I'm an industrial designer, so I
Mm.
love to watch the engineering on the toys, and I love to watch, for example, the amazing enjoying his toys because every time that you see his videos, the amazing, you can tell that he's enjoying what he's doing. He's
Yeah.
enjoying with the articulation, testing the accessories, everything. So that's what I what I love. I love watching people like articulate and play with this
Yeah.
plastic things called action figures. That's what I love.
Awesome. Awesome. Right. Last question then. What does your collection mean to you?
Oh, um, well, Stu, as I told you, I'm a very passionate person. I'm a very
Yeah.
passionate person. And as I said, that can be a blessing as well as it can be a curse because it can make you so obsessive or of some things that aren't worth your time or your energy.
Mm.
So, and as I said, I'm a very passionate person. Every single thing that I love, I have to get into it all the way.
Yeah.
And this, for me, all of this is a reminder. that I can't take life so seriously. That's what this represents to me. That
Yeah,
stop, like, uh, it's cool that you're passionate, but don't take it all the way. I mean, remember, life has to be a little bit slower. Don't take it like with so much passion, because at the end you could end up hurting yourself.
yeah,
I don't know, be disappointed. So this is a reminder. This is a reminder that I can't take life so seriously, because, as I said, I'm a very passionate person. And for example, whenever someone does me harm, I feel like I have to get back at them.
yeah,
This is a reminder that I don't have to do that. This is a
yeah,
reminder that I have to let it pass.
yeah,
So, as I said, this is basically my childhood, man. This is what I felt as a kid. When we were kids, we didn't have all these struggles and problems, thinking about money, thinking about what's coming tomorrow. I mean, when we were kids, we were living at the moment, we were enjoying our toys, and we were just being kids, innocent. I mean, like, that
yeah.
innocence, we cannot lose that innocence, because at the moment we lose innocence, we become older persons. We become, like, I mean, we
Adults.
lose that inner child. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, no. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with collecting. I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling the nostalgia, the memories of when you were a childhood. And I just think I just think it's great. It's awesome. It's an absolute awesome feeling. Like, I mean, I can come in here, I can just sit around, look at my room, and most toy collectors are the same. They go in their room. It's an escapism. It takes you away from the today's problems, today's world. It takes you away from reality. Just it doesn't matter whether it's for, like, 20 minutes, an hour, 5 minutes. You come away, you just come away, sit in your toy room, look at your toys, and just think, yeah, simpler times, happy times, and I think it's yeah, I think it's good for people. And I think that, like, a lot of people that are on the outside looking in, that don't have collections and stuff like that, or they don't collect toys, they don't get it. They don't, until they actually start collecting themselves, I guess, they don't feel what we feel, and they don't see what we see when we see in these toys. I mean, it was funny. I was in a store today, and a lady was looking at this toy, and she was going, 50 quid, 50 quid for that. Who'd spend 50 quid for that? And I was just like, and her husband was looking, and I was just sitting there, I was just laughing at her, and I was like, yeah, yeah, people do, people do. And listen, I think the real genuine collectors, they don't collect for money values. They just collect because of the enjoyment of collecting, and
Definitely,
absolutely.
definitely.
And listen, and it unfortunately, it has come to the end of the chat, but I've got to say, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Your passion, your enthusiasm really is infectious, and I really do hope that we get to chat again on a live stream or something like that, or you can be part of a live stream with other people. Absolutely. Just before we go, where can people find you on social media? What are your social media platforms?
I only use. I mean, as I said, most of my life has been rollerblading. So you can catch me at Denzense at Instagram, and but
Yeah,
my I mean, this is not my Instagram is not based on figures. It's just based on my life. And as I said, I was
yeah,
a rollerblader, so most of the things that I used to post, because I no longer rollerblade, but most of the things that I used to post were blading related.
yeah,
And right now I'm posting a lot of figures. I also love calisthenics, so I'm a lot into working out. So, as I said,
yeah,
I just post about my life. It's not, if you're expecting start following me and see a lot of toys and these reviews and pictures and things, you won't find that, because, as I said, I'm just a regular guy who likes to collect. But yeah, yeah, if I'm open to
no,
anyone
listen,
that wants to
that's how
follow
me
me.
and you met. This is how me and you got, how we got in contact through
Yeah,
Instagram. I said to you, right, if you want to come on the channel, tap me up on Instagram. You did, and here we are. you know, this could, you know, because you say that it's difficult to speak to different collectors in Colombia because you don't have that many people that collect. Man,
Hmm.
there's a whole world out there that collects. There's a whole, you know, there's a whole community, and it would be great if you could become a part of that community where you get to chat and meet other people, other toy collectors on YouTube and stuff like that, and share your experiences with them. And do you know what I mean? And it's just going to
Yeah.
open up more doors for you. So listen, if it's okay with you, I would like to put your Instagram link in the description below to this video. So if people are interested and want to get in touch with you and chat to you about toys and stuff like that, then they can. I mean, but if that's okay with you.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. As I said, it's that I don't want it to be disappointed,
Yeah.
expecting to find something like super toy related when you're not going to find that. You're going to, I mean, if you talk to me about toys, I'm happy to talk about toys as much as you want, but you're not going to find like 100 figures about 100 pictures about this figure,
Yeah.
or I don't know. I just don't post that. Every now and then I post every
Yeah.
figure, or in the stories I like to share what I do. But as I said, it's my Instagram is not based on my collecting or on my
Yeah.
rollerblading. It's actually based on my whole life. So you will find from calisthenics to action figures to rollerblading. So I mean, everything
Awesome.
goes across my life that I like, that I feel that it's
Well, no,
worth sharing.
that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyhow, that unfortunately has come to the end. I mean, again, the hour always flies by. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and chatting to you for the first time. I've really enjoyed the conversation. Really interesting. For
As
those of you
well.
who have got eagle eyes, and I'm sure most of you will have, I forgot to change my name back to Stu on this, so it's still Sue. So that will be changed immediately after this video. I'll be changing my name back to Stu again. So, but yeah, but listen, for those of you who've stayed with us right to the very end, it is very much appreciated. It's damn awesome to be back, and what a fantastic way to kick off my collecting life 2024 than chatting with this young man here, Denzense. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.
As well, Stu, thank you for the chance of sharing my collection with you
No,
and with
absolutely.
everyone. And well, yeah, let me know if there's anything else that I can help you with. I hope we keep in
Absolutely.
touch. I mean,
Definitely.
you're one of the few collectors friends that I have right now.
Oh,
So yeah,
well, like
I'll be
I say,
happy to.
hopefully after this, the door will be open for more collection friends. Anyhow, take care. Cheers now.
Okay, bye bye, man.